So we're going to go over our last part of geometry. I don't know if it's the last part, say maybe second last part, is using algebra and geometry together. So here's a little 3-minute review that we're going to do here. So pause it and everyone take out their package and try to finish this, and give you a couple minutes to do it. Okay, now that we're back, all we're doing here is solving for x. So just to refresh, a triangle equals 180 degrees. So x is going to equal 180 minus, I'm just going to go 180 minus the other two, 32 minus 21, which is going to equal 127. That's going to equal x. All right? So we have to remember that triangles have 180 degrees inside. The next one here, we have to remember back to our parallel line here, and remember this is a z. Okay, and when that's a z, that means this angle equals this angle. Therefore, since that angle is 135, it's going to equal the x, which is 135. So x equals 135. Now this last one, we have to remember exterior angles. And then the exterior angle of any shape is 360 degrees. 360 degrees. So we know that this x is the only one missing, so we can simply minus off everything else in here to find what the x is going to equal. Therefore, x equals 80. So 360 minus the rest. So today's lesson is going to be a quick one. Now for the 1P students, you have no lesson, and see me for the review sheet, and I will tell you which questions you need to do off the review. Okay? So let's take a look here. Solve for this situation. All right. So first thing we have to do is figure out what's going on in the situation. And if we remember, or if we look to our notes for future self, exterior angle of a triangle means this angle here is equal to the opposite angles added together. Okay? So that means this here, 3x minus 10, equals the other two angles added together, so 25 plus x plus 15. So now that we have the situation written out properly, we can just solve for x. If we take a look here, we're going to collect x's on one side, so we're going to keep this one here. We're going to bring that x over. It's a plus x on that side, so it's going to become a minus x on this side, equals, and I'm going to leave this 25 plus 15. Then it's a minus 10 on that side, so we're going to make it a plus 10. So here we go. This is moving this way and becoming a, it was a plus first, is becoming a minus. And this here is going here, where this was a plus on this side, so it becomes a minus on this side. Then we're back at it, so we go 2x equals 25 plus 15. Oh, I missed that. That's a plus. And that's going to equal, as I jump all over the place here all of a sudden, that's going to equal 50. 25 plus 15 plus 10 equals 50. Then we move that 2 over, and it's a multiply on that side, so when it comes over, it's going to become a divide. So x is going to equal 25. Right? Then, if I asked you to, we could go back into here and figure out what these angles are. So realistically, this is 3 times 25 minus 10. And let's let the computer do my math for me. And that's going to equal 65. Now here, this is now 25 plus 15, which equals 40. And then, just to double check, we should have these two angles equal to the outside one. So 25 plus 40 equals 65. So we know we're equal. Now, let's take a look at this one. Give everyone a minute to finish off this one here because I tend to go pretty quick. Now let's take a look at this one here and figure out what law or what do we have here. Now if we look here, we have an F pattern. And I might have used the worst thing possible to draw that. So let's redo that and make this a lot smaller. There's my F pattern right there. So with this F pattern, we know that this equals this. Those two angles are equal. So let's write it down. So we know 2x minus 3 equals 8x plus 15. So we need now to isolate the variables on one side and numbers on the other side. So let's leave the big dog here. The 8's the biggest. So let's move this over. So it's a plus on this side, so it's going to become a minus. And we have to move this one back this way. And this was a plus on this one, so it's going to become a minus on that one. Okay? So that's going to leave us with negative 3 minus 15 equals 8x minus 2x, which is going to give us negative 18 equals 6x. Now we need to know what 1x equals, so we're going to move that 6 over. It's a multiply. So when it comes over, it's going to be a divide. So that's going to equal negative 3 equals x. And then we can solve, go back here and solve for the angles by substituting in the negative 3. So 2 times negative 3 minus 3 equals negative 9. Yep, that's right. Now these aren't exact answers because you can't have an angle of negative 9, so we're just doing the algebra here. Let's see if they equal each other. Times negative 3 plus 15 equals negative 9. So we know we have the right answer here. Now our last question here. What are we going to do here? We have a shape and we're looking for the inside angle. So how are we going to find the inside angle of this? Well, logic tells me that inside angle is n minus 2 times 180. Will give me the total inside angle. So let's count up my sides here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 minus 2 times 180, which is going to equal 4 times 180, which is going to give us a total angle of 720. Okay? So we know the whole thing equals 720. So what adds up that 720? Well, let's just add all those things on the inside up. So 120 plus 6x. I'm just going to go around the circle. Plus 8x minus 8 plus 7x plus 4x plus 14 plus 5x minus 6. So, what do we do now? Well, we do that wonderful thing called combining like terms. So let's combine all my like terms. Let's highlight all my numbers. Okay. I'm going to do this off the side too. And here's all my variables. So let's go off to the side here and kind of add them up separate. So I have 120 minus 8 plus 14 minus 6. That equals 120. Let's go down here and we'll write 120. And then we're going to do our variables. I'm not going to put the x in here as I add up my variables because I know there's an x at the back of it. So 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4 plus 5 equals 30. But that's 30x, so you have to remember that. 30x. Now, we have to isolate my variable, so let's move the number over. And I'm going to be left with 720 minus 120 equals 30x, which is going to equal 600 equals 30x. And once again, I have to isolate 1x, so I'm going to go 600 divided by 30 equals 20. So that's equal to x. So 20 equals x. If I wanted to find out what all those equaled, I would just plug in the 20 into here. So let's say I wanted this one. I go, okay, what's 6 times 20? That angle equals 120. Right? And so on and so forth. What's 8 times 20 minus 8 equals 152, and so on and so forth. So that's all for today's lesson. Your homework tonight is to complete the handout, and this is the handout here with these questions here. Okay. I will provide an answer key on OneNote. I will do that up tonight, and I'll get an answer key for you. Then once you're done that, you have your review questions here. This is review for the test that's later this week. Okay, so that is the task for today, and I will see everyone tomorrow when I'm back. Have a great